Let's talk. Maybe you've heard about someone getting rich off crypto, or saw a headline about Dogecoin and thought, I like dogs and I like money. The allure? Getting rich fast. A digital lottery ticket you can check every 30 seconds. But behind the noise is tokenomics, the rulebook that decides if your coin is the next Bitcoin or just digital dust. So buckle up. We're diving into the weird, wonderful world of digital money. What is a cryptocurrency? In short, it's digital money. Think of it like video game cash, but you can buy pizza, or more likely, another weird cryptocurrency. Unlike dollars, crypto is usually decentralized, no single person or bank in charge. It runs on blockchain, a public ledger, like a digital receipt book everyone can see. There are coins and tokens. Coins, like Bitcoin, have their own blockchain. Tokens are built on top of another blockchain, usually Ethereum. Imagine Ethereum as a giant digital mall. Ether is the mall's currency, but stores inside can issue their own loyalty points. Those are tokens. Tokens can represent anything. A share in a project, a vote, or even digital art. Anyone can create a token. You could make your name coin in 20 minutes, decide there are a billion, and keep half. Suddenly you're the central bank of a new microeconomy. But whether anyone cares about your name coin depends entirely on its tokenomics. Tokenomics is the study of how tokens are designed, distributed, and managed. It's the economic policy of a tiny digital nation. And it's where things get interesting, and sometimes a little silly. Because in crypto, value is all about the rules you write and the story you tell. You've created your name coin. Now, how do you make it valuable? It all comes down to supply and demand. Scarcity creates value, just like limited edition sneakers. Tokenomics is about creating digital scarcity and reasons for people to want your token. Some tokens, like Bitcoin, have a hard cap. Only 21 million will ever exist. That's deflationary. Others are inflationary, constantly creating new tokens, which can dilute value if demand doesn't keep up. Demand is trickier. You need utility, voting rights, access to services, staking for rewards. The more useful a token, the more people want it. Projects get creative, offering everything from decentralized storage to a fairer internet. But let's be honest, hype is often the biggest driver. FOMO, celebrity tweets, and Reddit armies can send prices soaring. Tokenomics also covers how tokens are distributed and how communities are built. The goal? Get tokens into the hands of true believers who won't sell at the first sign of profit. It's a mix of marketing, psychology, and yes, a bit of gambling. In crypto, value is as much about belief as it is about math, and that's what keeps the game going. Let's talk about the originals, Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're the blueprints for everything else in crypto. Bitcoin is digital gold. Only 21 million will ever exist. Fixed supply, store of value, immune to inflation. New coins are created by mining. Computers solving math problems. The reward halves every 4 years, making supply predictable and slowing over time. Ethereum is different. It's a platform for building decentralized apps, not just digital money. Ether, ETH, is the fuel. You pay gas fees to use the network. This creates constant demand for ETH, since you need it to do anything on Ethereum. Unlike Bitcoin, Ethereum's supply was inflationary for years. But now, with upgrades like the merge, some ETH is burned with every transaction. That means supply can actually shrink if the network is busy. Bitcoin is about scarcity and security. Ethereum is about flexibility and utility. Both are economic experiments. One as digital gold, the other as a programmable world computer. Their tokenomics shape everything that follows in crypto. Understanding them is like learning the rules before you play the game. Every new project tweaks these models, but the basics start here. And that's why they matter. In crypto, community is everything. A project without a community is just someone shouting into the void. Tokenomics is how you build that digital army. Projects often start with airdrops, free tokens to early users or holders of other coins. Free stuff gets people invested, talking and spreading the word. Staking is another tool. Lock up your tokens, earn rewards, and get voting rights. This keeps people holding instead of selling and gives them a say in the project's future. Suddenly, you're not just an investor, you're a citizen of a digital nation. But communities can become echo chambers, fiercely defending their token and ignoring red flags. Tribalism is powerful, but it can blind people to risks. When your identity is tied to a coin, it's hard to admit the roadmap looks like a child's drawing. Community can make or break a project, and in crypto, it often does both. Now for the dark side, scams are everywhere in crypto. For every legit project, there are a dozen designed to steal your money. The space is unregulated, complicated, and full of people chasing quick riches, perfect for scammers. The most common scam? The rug pull. Developers hype a new token, price skyrockets, then they sell everything and vanish. The token crashes to zero, and investors are left with nothing. Scam coins often have suspicious tokenomics, like developers holding most of the supply. Watch out for projects promising insane returns. If you see 1,000,000% yield, run. These projects print new tokens to pay rewards, causing prices to collapse. You might have 1 billion tokens, but if each is worth nothing, you've lost everything. The crypto market is volatile. Prices can swing wildly in a day. Scammers use bots and fake hype to lure people in before dumping. The best defense? Skepticism. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. In crypto, there are no bailouts, just lessons learned the hard way. Stay sharp, or you'll be the next cautionary tale. Just as you start to understand crypto, along come NFTs and DeFi. NFTs, non-fungible tokens, are about owning unique digital items, art, videos, even tweets. The value is in artificial scarcity and proof of ownership on the blockchain. NFTs are digital status symbols, like a Rolex, but for the internet. Projects build value with strong brands, exclusive perks, and a sense of belonging. Then there's DeFi, decentralized finance. DeFi recreates financial services, lending, trading, insurance, without banks. Tokens in DeFi often give you voting power and economic incentives. Provide liquidity on a platform like Uniswap, and you earn fees. The whole system is a web of incentives, designed to run itself. It's a high-stakes experiment in building autonomous financial machines. NFTs and DeFi push tokenomics into new, sometimes bizarre territory, and they're just getting started. So, is crypto the future or just a collective delusion? The answer? Probably both. The rewards are real. Early investors in Bitcoin or Ethereum made fortunes. The tech could reshape money, ownership, and trust. DeFi promises a more open, accessible financial system. No banks required. But the risks are massive. No regulation, wild volatility, and constant scams. For every success, thousands lose everything chasing dreams. The tech is new and buggy. Billions have been stolen from platforms and wallets. Crypto is one of the riskiest asset classes on Earth. Investing now is a bet on the future, on the tech maturing and real value emerging. It's a high-stakes gamble, not a sure thing. Weigh the revolutionary potential against the real risk of losing it all. And remember, if someone promises guaranteed riches, they're probably selling you snake oil. So where does that leave us? We've explored the wild world of tokenomics. We've seen how code creates digital scarcity, how hype builds empires, and how it can all collapse overnight. Every moonshot and crash is driven by tokenomic design, the rules behind the madness. The future is uncertain. Idealists, scammers, and millions of regular people all fighting for a piece of the next big thing. Regulation is coming, which could bring stability or kill the innovation. But digital scarcity, decentralized ownership, and programmable money are here to stay. We might see tokens for everything from tickets to house deeds, or the whole thing could implode. The truth is probably somewhere in the messy middle. Be curious, but cautious. Learn the rules, question the hype, and never trust guaranteed riches. Crypto is a frontier, exciting, dangerous, and deeply weird. And yes, the future will almost certainly involve coins named after dogs.